What's up, pumpers? Jerome here with another TBC video. Today we're going to be going over my optimized daily farming route that I worked on really hard to make you as much gold as possible with minimal effort. You can easily make 75 gold per day in about 20 minutes doing dailies in TBC, and if you add in the daily dungeon and the heroic and the PvP quest, you can even get this up to about 130 gold per day with very minimal effort. If you like the video, make sure to hit that like button and please do subscribe. It helps a heck of a lot and will allow me to keep coming out with more videos like this one.
You are not prepared!
So before we get started with our optimal daily farming route, I wanted to cover why we're doing these dailies now as opposed to perhaps later on in the expansion. Well, basically in Phase 1, there weren't a lot of dailies to choose from. You could do the daily dungeon, the daily heroic, and the daily PvP quest, as well as a daily cooking and a daily fishing quest. So I was already doing the PvP daily every single day. I was usually trying to do the daily heroic. It's usually the easiest one to get groups for and gives you extra gold, as well as just another chance at, for example, a primal nether and more heroic loot. But here's the thing, in Phase 2, there are new daily questing hubs. We have the Ogre questing hub and the Skettis questing hub. These are awesome, packed full of a bunch of different quests and, of course, daily quests. That's what we're after. I wanted to cover my optimal daily farming route and try to minimize your time spent while also maximizing your gold made. Before we get started, it is very, very important to note that an epic flying mount will help a lot with this route. It's going to save you so much time. It's going to take at least 3 to 5 times longer without an epic flying mount. Now, I understand if you're doing these kind of dailies, you're most likely using a slow flyer, and that's okay. When I was first doing these, I was definitely using a slow flyer, and in fact, it is perfectly viable. It's just going to take you a lot longer. To start off our daily farming, we are going to head to Barlow near Shattrath. He is the fishing daily NPC. He gives a variety of fishing quests, which give rewards of about 6 to 7 gold, and some interesting, relatively rare items. For example, the Eye of the Sea, which is worth, right now in our server, about 300 gold. So if you're really lucky, you could make quite a bit there, though relatively rare. There are really only 2 quests we're going to bother doing from him. The Fellblood Fillet quest and Bait Bandits. Both of these are on the way, so if you're doing your daily farming route, it really doesn't hurt to head by these areas. Well, the first one is going to be already near Skettis, and the second is going to be near Shattrath, so either way, you can't really go wrong. Not really efficiency-minded, but if you're really hurting for gold, you could also do Crocolis in the city. This could be done in a major city like Ogre, for example, but you could add this in at the end of your route, for example. It wouldn't really hurt or slow you down that much. Next up, we're going to be heading to the Rock. He is in the north side of Shattrath. He offers cooking daily quests. Only 2 I would bother doing. The Revenge is Tasty and Super Hot Stew quest. These are both directly on the way. Super Hot Stew can be done in the Forged Camp Terror, which we're going to already be going to. And Revenge is Tasty is done in Skettis. You just kill the giant Kaliri bird, so going to be super on the way and absolutely worth doing. Any of the other cooking quests, not worth doing. Keep in mind, you want to have stacks of the ingredients for these quests in your inventory already so you can save time. So basically maybe 20 of everything you need for these quests, and you're good to go. Next up, we're going to head to the right side of Shattrath and pick up the normal and heroic dungeon quests. These have a ton of gold with them. Normal dungeon quest is over 16 gold, and the heroic is 24. Keep in mind, you get rep from the heroic version, and you also get an Ethereum dungeon key, which can be sold on the auction house as well. Nice little tip here. You can do the normal dungeon quest in a heroic version dungeon. So if you're having trouble finding a normal dungeon for your quest, you can actually look for a heroic as well, and that just gives you double shots at maybe getting a dungeon group and getting these quests done. Next up, we are going to use the transporter to Tolshi's station. This is going to require gnomish engineering. I would recommend, as I've said in a previous video, every single person should have engineering, and gnomish definitely seems like the way to go. Tolshi station is sort of in the middle of Blade's Edge. This is going to be the fastest possible way to get to Ogre and do our daily quest. If you don't have engineering for whatever reason, you can just fly to either Sylvanar or Thunderlord Stronghold. Keep in mind, Sylvanar is actually ridiculously close as Alliance to Ogre, so it's actually not a bad option at all, and you really can't go wrong. Not going to add that much time to your route if you just fly, so don't panic if you don't have engineering. Next up, we're going to fly directly to Ogre, where we're going to pick up 4 different quests. We're going to pick up the Relic's Emanation. We're going to pick up Bomb Them Again. We're going to pick up Banish More Demons, which requires Honored, so until you get Honored, you won't be able to do this quest. And we're also going to pick up Wrangle More Aether Rays. So keep in mind, all of these quests give excellent gold and rep, so you won't want to miss out on any of them. In my opinion, the most efficient thing to do is to go directly south at this point. You're probably going to think, why are we going south? Isn't the Ogre Lost City a little bit closer to the north camp? Well, the Forge Camp Terror is actually much more empty, in my opinion, way less people. You're going to be able to wrangle more Aether Rays on the way a lot more easily. I feel like the north side has less rays. The south side always more empty for whatever reason, psychologically speaking. Also, on the way, as we're doing wrangle more Aether Rays, don't forget to do the Relic's Emanation. This quest I would do at the furthest south point. This quest requires one Apex's Shard. In my opinion, you could use either a Weakar or an add-on. There's an Ogre Lazy add-on. I have not been able to find an updated version, but there is a Weakar that works pretty dang well. Or you could just write the Simon Says answers in your text box. This works for me 100% of the time and is super easy. After you finish the Relic's Emanation, you're going to go directly south. We're going to do Bomb Them Again, which is really easy but a little bit buggy, and may require you to use a flying mount instead of a druid mount. I had problems. You may have to log out once or twice to make this quest work. While you're doing Bomb Them Again, don't forget to do the Super Hot Stew quest if you happen to have it for that day. You just kill an Abyssal and cook up the quest items that you should already have in your inventory. Also, don't forget to do Banish More Demons. Click the item in your inventory, do that quest, kill the demons nearby, and that should be no problem. Then go north to Ogre La and turn in every single quest. This is very, very, very important, because if you don't do this, then the next day you will not be able to do another set of dailies. So basically, you have to get a clean slate every single day, because the system will not let you do 2 quests in one day. After you've finished all of your Ogre La quests, we're going back to Shattrath, and this is where having an epic mount is such an advantage, because you can just directly fly down to Skettis now, going out of Terracar Forest, basically, really, really fast. If you do not have an epic mount, you're going to need to fly slowly over to Shadow Moon. This is where you have to go to your Alliance or Horde settlement, and then fly over to the left to Skettis, which is going to take you an extra several minutes, and really, an epic mount is going to help a lot here. As you're slow flying or quickly flying, if you have that epic mount, check out the Down timers. This is a pretty unlikely event, but you may be able to do the Down daily if the towers are about to turn over. I would always have this quest in my quest log just ready to go in the very unlikely event that these towers are maybe 10 or 15 minutes from changing, and you can get some free honor and free gold as well. But it has basically never happened for me. It's just the kind of thing you might get once in maybe, 20 days, and it's a little bit of free gold and a little bit of free honor, and you don't really want to pass that up. Next up, we're going to be doing the Skettis quest in Skettis. So this is a really, really cool gold farming area, unrelatedly, but we're going to be picking up the Fires Over Skettis quest, where you're going to be basically doing what you did with the Bomb Them Again quest, but now with these large white eggs in Skettis. So a couple things to note about the Fires Over Skettis quest. Number one, you need an actual flying mount. It will not work with the druid mount. I have no idea why. And also, sometimes these stupid birds can knock you out of the air, which is really toxic and can cause massive repair damage. So always keep an eye out for these giant birds. So while we're doing our cooking daily, if you had it, and the Fires Over Skettis daily, we're going to be doing a very specific thing, which is looking for a Skyguard prisoner in one of 3 coordinate locations. I'm going to put them on the screen now. This is a very important thing. You need to put these into a TomTom equivalent add-on. Every time somebody does the daily escort quest, which takes about 1.5 to 2 minutes, it will immediately spawn him in one of the 3 locations. It is instant. So basically, if there is a very high population server that you're on, then you could just sit at one of the 3 locations and wait, and ideally party up with people nearby just to be a nice guy or gal. But you can just wait at a location. If your server is very, very low pop, you're going to have to fly to each of these 3 locations. That's where that epic mount is huge. Free rep and free gold. It takes about a minute or 2 to do the escort quest. 100% worth doing. Now we're going to turn in the Escape from Skettis and Fires Over Skettis quest. Just a friendly reminder, make sure if you complete these quests, turn them in, because if you turn them in the next day, you will not be able to do them again that day. So you're wasting an entire day of dailies. Once you finish Escape from Skettis and Fires Over Skettis, you can go turn them in at the Skettis Quest Hub, and then you're basically done with the farming route. So this is something I can do every day in about 20 minutes. With a slow flyer, it's going to take you maybe 40 minutes, 30 minutes, but it's not so bad. This is a very efficient, fast, well thought out route, And basically now you're free to go. You can do the PvP daily, you can do the normal dungeon daily, the heroic dungeon daily. Basically every single day you'll make at least 75 gold if you do all the dailies every day. And there are a couple I'm not listing here that I do not think are worth doing right now. But if you did those as well, you could make even more gold. So definitely recommend incorporating this daily in as a relaxing way to enjoy the game. And keep in mind, we have a lot more dailies coming in the future. So getting into that daily mindset, if you like that style of gameplay, which I know a lot of people don't because it's a very retail style. But if you do like that style, you'll be happy to get into these dailies every single day. Hope you enjoyed the farming route as well. I spent a lot of time figuring it out. Haven't even really touched on this, but there's all sorts of cool rewards you're going to get if you do these dailies every day, because you're going to get a ton of rep and get exalted with these factions in no time. Also, a little tip I didn't mention is that Apex's shards eventually may be useless to you. They can be converted into gold by buying potions and vendoring them back for about 2.3 silver per shard. So eventually when you have 1,000 or 2,000 shards, you can make a little bit of gold from that, and it's not a bad option. One thing I didn't mention is that there's a monthly quest you can do called Membership Benefits. Requires Consortium rep, and it is done in Nagran. If you do this quest every month at Exalted, you will make a lot of gold from that. You get all sorts of really, really high quality gems. Keep in mind, if you do this at a lower rep, for example at Honored or Revered, you're going to basically get pretty low value gems. But when you are exalted, this is definitely a huge, great bonus moneymaker worth looking into as well. So now we've basically covered everything TBC dailies have to offer right now. You're going to be making at least 75 gold a day, no problem, up to 130 or more gold per day. You're going to be getting tons of rep with all these different cool factions. You're going to be enjoying the game a lot and relaxing and not worrying about gold as much. Please hit the like button. And that notification bell needs to be pressed. If it's not pressed, I can't keep making these videos. I want to make so many more. I've got so many plans. But if that notification bell isn't pressed, you'll never see the videos, and I'll never be able to make any more. Also, please let me know in the comments if you have a more optimized route or some kind of daily thing you do every day that makes you a bunch of gold. I want to know about it. It's important to me. I want to know how to make this guide better. Maybe I'll make a version 2 next patch and keep videos like this coming. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great, great day.